So since we're very short on time,
sorry.
briefly, it's okay. I mean, it's a discussion, so that's good. I will present to you something that could, bring the smart contracts to the, say, mass adoption, because it could be applied in different, let's say, fields. So app development, it could be, I don't know, tokenization of basically anything. So that's the idea. I believe in the platform economy because platforms enable people to actually connect and do stuff. And what's behind it is the developer community, which, let's say, is the core knowledge of building the platform. But at the end is the user who decides, okay, what they like, what they can do with it, interact, and so on. So when I try to when I actually discovered this thing with the ICOs and stuff, I got very curious, and I said, hey, maybe I should create my own coin one day. The problem was I couldn't code, and I cannot steal code, but due to my research skills, I found some platforms enabling you to do it without any programming skills. So, I don't know if you can actually see it. Yeah, that's good. So, most of you have already heard about, crazy ICOs like from Telegram, from EOS, IO, so the number is pretty different. It's 4 billion actually. I don't know why the team corrected, but never mind. The speed of the ICOs, like how many millions people collected in a few hours, even minutes, and so on. So it's pretty crazy. It's just changing the venture capital world and so on. So it's an emerging, so to say, industry, still early, but there's a platform, or there are many platforms that are already enabling you to do it without any programming skills. So, in fact, all these ICOs, they are mostly ERC20 based tokens. So, Ethereum based and so on. So, till today, roughly the ERC20 tokens cover, let's say, around 90% of the market share. It's decreasing, but it's still the main choice when it comes to creating an ICO. So this implies the following things: that Ethereum is still popular, it's convenient because you can store your different tokens on one wallet, for instance. It's preferred by developers since you have these open libraries that help you to build your own things, and also by exchanges, since 90%, let's say, or 85% is mostly Ethereum 20 based tokens. So when it comes to the challenges for the non-technical guys like me, it's about programming. It could be also expensive because developing a contract like this would cost up to, I don't know, $10,000, but without like the audit costs. And also you are dependent on the company that is doing it for you or the developer that is doing it for you. So you're not 100% sure that it's the right code, that it's going to bring the results you want to have. So, considering that the cost of the ICO are between like roughly $150,000 to $300,000, you can save, let's say, right from the start around 10% by creating your, let's say, token on MyWish platform. And in fact, the cool part about the platform is that it supports already several blockchains. So, of course, the main one is Ethereum with a bunch of contracts, crowd sale, token contract, airdrop, investment pool, different payment, loss key, wallet, and so on. Then comes the Neo blockchain, EOS, and the Rostock, so the Bitcoin kind of blockchain. So, not to talk too much, let's basically create a token right now, and we can do it in a few minutes. So when I go to the platform, it's called, so the company's website is called mywish.io, but the platform, to access it, it's contracts.mywish.io. And then you could see that this is the interface basically, where you could select a bunch of contracts that you want to try out. Because trying in the testnet is for free, and you can do it also on any other blockchain, so EOS, Bitcoin, and Neo. So since, let's say, the topic of the meetup initially was about the ERC20 tokens, let's create a token contract and let's do it on the test network. So you would click on it, you would choose the name, so let's say it's Fort Lauderdale Meetup, and then
Could you do this on the EOS right now instead of the Ethereum example?
I can do it as well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just a little bit, let's say, it's not faster, but that was like the initial plan, and then I switched to EOS. So there's no big deal. So, okay. Token symbol, Fort Lauderdale, for instance, the number of decimals, which is 18. You could choose even the type of the token, ERC20 or ERC23, 223. Then you would insert your token owner address. So in this case, I used like a randomly generated my Ether wallet address. So I would be able to actually manage the contract. Okay. Let's copy it again.
So you got the
So it's common.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Windows user.
The private keys.
Yeah. It's already a public-private key
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah. Then you would click like mint tokens. You would insert, let's say, the same wallet if you're up to, or if you want to actually keep it for yourself. And the name, I don't know, would be the same, like Fort Lauderdale. Then you can decide the token amount. So let's choose like 100 million. You can even freeze, or you can even freeze the token minting till a particular date. So you could decide if you want to have your ICO this year, next year, I don't know. You have the possibility to actually choose it anytime, and yeah. And you can change it actually. So if tomorrow you would have the deadline for this, you can actually change it to the next date. And then if you go down, you could decide also if this token will be, if you are able to actually mint it in the future. So it's, how do you say, it's not a total supply, but circulating supply. Yeah. Okay. So what you have to do is basically check if everything is right. You would hit create.
Unfreeze state.
Yeah, I'll unfreeze it. So we create them right now. And then, yeah, voila. The token, the contract is created. We just need to wait till it's active. So I created some contracts before. And here, yeah, in your own library, so to say, my contracts, you could see the list. So you already see it. It's created. Like on the testnet, you cannot see the source code, but on the mainnet, you can do that. So if you really want to go into the code and check it out and so on. So far, the company has never had an issue or a complaint from their customers, and the company is like, I don't know, 1 year old or something, and yeah, they're doing pretty well, so to say. So you can launch now your contract. You would have to accept the disclaimer, so the company doesn't take responsibility for any kind of things that you want to do with your token. Exactly. So you would accept, and then it's waiting for deployment. Once it's done, you already...
On ROP still, right?
Exactly. You're ready to use it.
Only what you need is to do listing on some exchange.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will just open the other contract that I did before. You could see basically the same details. For the source code, it would say you need to be in the mainnet. But you could see,
Etherscan.
yeah, exactly. You could see it here, like transactions and so on.
Oh, so they do not verify the contract with the Etherscan? Because in Etherscan you can verify, or you can...
You can verify the contract, yes.
But if you have no source code, then you cannot.
Yeah, because it's in the testnet.
Okay, so in testnet you cannot verify.
Mm-hmm.
But on the mainnet you can.
Yes, yes.
There's no
yes.
problem then.
Yeah, so that's it for the moment. Like for the token contract, we just need to wait. It's deployed, and then you can check it out. Same applies to any other contract, like crowd sale. In the crowd sale, you can have a pre-sale, crowd sale. Select the dates. You can change the dates for the airdrop. It will be the same investment pool and so on. Now let's choose the EOS.
How much does this cost?
So if you look at you have actually the price list. So
Oh, okay.
crowd sale is 2.5, Ethereum, token contract, and so on.
Okay.
Yeah. Considering the price of the Ethereum today, this is like pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So if we go to EOS now, first thing that I was told or informed is that in order to create something on EOS, you need to have an account there, which you have to kind of claim through a friend or ask for it. But the company itself, it allows you to do it like on the platform, so you don't have to look for someone who has an EOS account. So you would choose a testnet now. First, you need to create an account before you create a token contract, for instance. So the account is your ID in this case. So it's something different than the one from Ethereum, where you have like the public address, private keys, stuff like that. I think the account is like the main.
You can have a named, you can have a named account on EOS. That's what you need a friend for.
Yeah. So it's like the main identifier in this case. So
It's pretty easy though. Even people who have Udemy courses on EOS, like they'll as part of the thing as an instructor, you pay them $5 and they'll give all their students a named account. So it's not hard.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know that.
It always seems hard because it was hard to buy EOS tokens in the US. So a lot of people would be friends would be mostly living overseas, but eventually that feeds over to the US.
It's really hard to buy EOS tokens here in the States. Why?
Well, yeah, I mean, you see this, right? I had to print this in the back of the shirts because you weren't allowed as a U.S. citizen to buy.
To buy?
Yeah, it wasn't a registered security here.
Okay.
So basically, to be very transparent and compliant, right? Basically that's why you even print them on the back of the shirts, right? Saying people do it, but wasn't something that we helped anyone with. They did it on their own.
Why weren't they allowed to be sold here?
They're not registered as investments in the U.S.
Because
Bitcoin's not either, right?
Bitcoin's is pseudo-currency. EOS was more of a security at that point, but that's going to change too. All these things, it's like there's no hard and fast rules. It's all about SEC changes their minds on a daily basis. So
So Ethereum is treated differently than a token on Ethereum?
you know what? It depends. It depends on who you ask what day.
Or an asset.
But I see, there's always people got all excited about Ethereum like a month ago, saying that an SEC commissioner said that it's going to be a currency just like Bitcoin.
Right.
But then another SEC commissioner said no.
Right.
So it's not even with an SEC. There's like different. The only thing that's really like kind of this maybe a currency right now, maybe not, but the most probable of all of them is Bitcoin. The rest it's the gray area.
Yeah.
So basically app developers, and just going back to game makers, that's where I know most about. Like what we're doing now is instead of issuing tokens, because we issue a token, then we'll have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on, let alone like the $2,000 for the app, right? But then it's another $200,000 for the lawyers, right? And then everything else, and you're still not going to get it done. SEC will not like respond and prompt. So to avoid all that, we're using direct currency to buy in-app purchases. So instead of buying, like for example, one of my friend's companies, Crypto Space Commander, right? It's like you buy spaceships or space stations on a blockchain. So instead of issuing a token to buy spaceships or run the app, you use direct ETH, right? So you use ETH to buy a spaceship or to buy a space station, and they're collectibles, right? There's not a crypto collectible, but they actually have in-game